Claire again from Cotswold Chickens. We're going to talk about chickens going broody. It's that time of the year when they get a bit warm, they get the idea in their head that they want to sit on the nest and hatch some eggs out, regardless of whether you've got a cockerel. They don't really care, in fact, whether you've got a cockerel and fertile eggs. They'll sit on a baked bean if you put it in the nest, some of them. They just want to sit on the nest, and then instinct tells them that they need to hatch out an egg. Okay, well, you might want them to go broody if you're going to have a broody hatching out some fertile eggs, you want some chicks. But you need to be prepared for that. You'll need to be having a proper broody crate for them to be going. They'll need a run, and the chickens will need to be in that brooding house with the chicks that hatch out until at least the chicks are about 16 weeks old, so that they're big enough and old enough to go in with the rest of the flock. They have to be kept separately with the mother that's hatching them out. So you need to plan for the eventualities that entails. If you're not going to be hatching out, you need to what's called get the chicken out of being broody. You need to snap her out of it, because otherwise she's going to be sitting on that nest, she's going to be glued to your nest box. She'll be stopping the other chickens from going in to lay eggs, and they can be quite feisty. They'll sit there like a feather pancake, they'll growl at you, they'll shout, they'll peck at other chickens coming in. They'll be bed blocking in the nest box. They'll be gathering all the eggs that are laid in the nest box underneath themselves so they can hatch them out. And what they'll do is they'll want to spend all day, all night in that nest box hatching out those eggs. They'll be getting hotter and hotter. They'll pluck out their feathers on their tummy, on their breast, so that they can get the warm skin up against the eggs to hatch them out. Even if they're not fertile, they'll want to try and hatch them out. And they'll stop from going out to feed and taking breaks off the nest, so they'll almost lose the use of their legs. They'll be sitting on that nest getting hotter and hotter, more bad-tempered than ever. Do get her out as quickly as possible. Now, there are a lot of different ways that people think about baking a broody, as they call it, or stopping her from brooding. One of the old-fashioned ones that I remember was that they used to dunk them in a bucket full of iced water. And the saying about there's nothing as bad-tempered as a wet hen is quite true there, because they really hate it. They don't like being wet. A wet hen can get cold quite quickly, and also the bucket of ice water is far too shocking on their system. They've got weak hearts. It's not a good idea. What we recommend is using a broody crate or broody cage, known in my house as the cage of shame, to break them out of it. And what it does is, the idea about it is actually to increase the airflow around the chicken so that she cools down. Now, a chicken's natural body temperature is around 105 degrees. They're naturally a bit warmer than we are. They're quite good for warming your hands up in the cold weather. But when they get hot, it's a bit like when a human woman gets pregnant. She's very, very warm. And they get hot, their temperature rises. So you need to bring that temperature down to stop them brooding. Now, it means that they're getting back into the mix. They're going to be eating and drinking and out with the flock again. So they're not going to be getting that injurious problem you get when they're brooding and they're not eating properly. Now, you can use several different things as broody cages. I brought a couple here just to show you. In the old days, we used to have wooden broody cages that we used to suspend under the shady trees in the orchards, so they got the airflow going around the chickens, and they're kept in that for 3 whole days solid, 24/7. They're kept in that. They've got all their own food and water, so they're happy as Larry. And with these new ones, we actually put them in the run with the other birds so that they're not being away from the flock. They're still being socialised around with the rest of the flock around, but it breaks the broodiness out of them. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of different ideas here. We've got a broody crate, which is an old dog crate, which you can use. We've set that up for a bigger hen. Now, only ever put one chicken in it at a time, because otherwise they'll huddle together, they'll keep each other warm, and you're losing that idea of cooling them down. It's defeating itself. You can use this. We've got food and water in there, in the coop cups. It's a nice airy crate. You need to have a mesh bottom in it so that you can actually keep the airflow around them. You put it in the run, and you put it up on a couple of bricks or some wooden blocks there to increase the airflow underneath. I'm just going to show you how to do that. So just lift up the crate, pop either some blocks of wood or some bricks underneath. One around the other side here. To increase the airflow underneath, and you pop that in the run with said broody chicken inside, and close the door. Obviously, what I would do usually is I usually put a plastic cover over the top and just put a brick on that to hold it down, because otherwise, to add insult to injuries, the other chickens, her mates, will stand on the top, poo on the chicken inside, and she won't be very happy. Now, the one I use at home, I've just brought in to show you because I've got small bantams at home. They're quite tiny, and the one that I use at home is just a wire pet carrier. Now, you can get these in various different sizes. You can buy them online, they're pretty cheap, or you can get them from the pet stores, and it comes with a plastic liner in the bottom. Take that out, okay, pop the food and water in the little galley pots inside, so pop those in, put the chicken in. So get the lid open, just pop her in there. Yeah, that's fine. Close it up. There we go. Let's put the little stopper in the top there. Put that up on some bricks in the run, and I just pop this liner over the top there and put a brick on it, so you've got a ready-made roof to stop her getting pooed on. Now, the reason I'm doing this, and you do it for 3 whole days and nights, don't take them out, don't put them back into the run at night. They've got all the food and water. They get in there, they mither around and sort of holler at you, get a bit angry at you for about 10 minutes, and then they sort of look around and think, well, I've got all the food and water in here, it's all mine, I've got no competition for it, absolutely none at all, it's mine, I'm happy, I'm fine. And they stay in there 3 whole days and nights, and that usually breaks the broodiness and breaks them out of it. Then they're back in with the flock, eating and drinking and messing around the garden as normal.